I hope you are all having a happy Tuesday. Thanks for joining us on a live virtual small group tour with Gadventures. My name's Cass, and I'll be here to ensure you all have a smooth ride. So today we have Jon, who's our Chief Experience Officer, or CEO, taking you on a tour through his region of Central America and Mexico. And so this is quite a large region to go through and quite difficult to condense down to an hour tour, but Jon has done that by putting together a few of his favorite places to visit. And so to kick things off, we will be selecting a handful of lucky viewers, that's you guys, to join in on this live tour. And so how does that work? If you're selected, you will jump on the live panel with myself and Jon to give you the opportunity to ask questions on the line, connect with other travelers, and be a part of what is a true small group experience. We do ask that you have your video on for this, and then everyone else, you'll stay connected through the viewing on the chat box. So if you're interested in joining the live tour like that, please raise your hand through the Zoom button, and we'll be pulling in a handful of people to join. And just give us one moment while we pull some people in. We're pulling in a few people. Hello, Amy. Welcome, welcome.
Hi.
We'll be pulling in a few more people.
Oh, I know, Jacob. How are you doing?
Nice to see you again.
Nice to see you again as well. What a surprise.
Amazing. Well, that was a lucky pull into the group.
Yeah, Jacob came with me on one of my travels, like one of our tours. So actually, that was a very, very great one.
So he knows just how amazing you are as a CEO.
Absolutely.
That's awesome. We're still waiting for some people. I pulled in a few names. So still waiting for those people to join.
Can you see me fine? I don't know. I can't see myself.
Yes, we see you.
Okay.
Hi, Lori. Welcome. We've got a few more people who should be joining in. We have Stephanie. Welcome, Stephanie.
Hi.
Christian, Devin, Sarah. Welcome, guys. And so this will be our small group. So we just ask that if you can, just mute your lines for a bit. And for our small group here, we'll have times to chat, answer questions, and discuss what we're seeing. But just for now, keep those lines muted. Feel free to use the chat box and raise your hand if you have something to say. I'll be sharing with Jon some questions that you're asking. And then we also have Ernie, who's one of our global purpose specialists, answering questions in the chat box. So you'll have time to unmute your lines and ask them yourself as well. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the journey through Central America and Mexico with Jon.
All right, thank you very much, Cassandra. Hi, everyone. How's everyone doing? Hope that everyone is doing good and safe and sound at home. So these times are unfortunate for traveling. We all know that, but like we are always thinking, like travelers are always thinking on traveling, on next destinations, like for the next trip. So in this case, I'm very, very honored to share with you Central America and Mexico, okay? So we're going to be going through the places where I would personally take my friends to, okay? So we're gonna be seeing places that I love with all my heart, okay? There have some unique, like let's say moments, like that's why we're gonna be sharing them, okay? So I really hope that you guys enjoy them. We're gonna be starting from Costa Rica. We're going to be going all the way up to Mexico, okay, to end with a great finale, which is going to be the Day of the Dead, okay? So as we're saying, we're going to be going through the countries of Central America and Mexico, okay? But before starting, we're gonna be tearing up as we do here in like all over Latin America, actually. So salud, everyone. I hope that you guys enjoy it. Okay. So as we're promising, let's go with our first country and first destination, okay? So let's arrive to Costa Rica, okay, the land of the pura vida. Actually, what does pura vida mean, okay? It means literally pure life, okay? And our first top like local moment will take us there. So if you, for example, are in the street or like a local tells you hi, okay, to say it back, you can always use pura vida, mae, which means like, hello, buddy, okay? But pura vida is not just used for saying hello, okay? It's used for everything. So you can use it for good morning, pura vida. See you later, pura vida. How are you doing, pura vida? Okay, so if you guys wanna talk like a local in Costa Rica, remember, pura vida mae, okay? So our first destination, it is going to be taking us to the Pacific coast in Santa Teresa Beach, okay? Which is one of the top surf destinations in Central America, okay? And as well considered world class, where there's like hosts for so many competitions. So this is a spot if you want to take a relaxed time, like disconnect from your day-to-day life and like get a little bit into the Costa Rican vibes. This is definitely the spot, okay? So what can we find in Costa Rica? First of all, like the beaches are absolutely outstanding, guys. So just imagine like this white sand, okay, where the trees and the palm trees almost fall into the water, okay? Like you have miles and miles of coastline, so you can walk through, like just have a nice walk in the morning. It's actually super cool in the mornings with all the misty fog, okay? And as well as we're saying, it's great for surfing, not just for pros, guys. This is a great spot for beginners, okay? And actually, I can say that personally, like the first wave that I caught, it was in Santa Teresa, okay? It's a great spot. There's some areas where you can either take a lesson or like have your first contact with the waves, okay? But for example, here, like, why is Santa Teresa unique? Why is Santa Teresa special? It's still one of these places, roads are not paved, okay? To make it there, you can, for example, come from San Jose, which is like the capital from Costa Rica. It's like around 2 to 3 hours drive to a ferry that you need to take to cross the Gulf of Nicoya, and then after 1 hour and a half more to Santa Teresa, okay? As you can see, no paved roads at all. It's a super relaxed environment, super chill, and actually that's what makes Santa Teresa still very special, because I consider it still like a hidden gem of like the Pacific coast, okay? So one of the big highlights, guys, look at that, okay? Sunsets in all over the Pacific coast are absolutely outstanding. This spot actually in Santa Teresa is, this picture was taken in Banana Beach, okay? So if going to Santa Teresa, I would recommend you to go to Banana Beach spot. It's like a restaurant bar, okay? It's open till like midnight, and it's a great spot to just go, like feel the vibes, feel the pura vida vibes, like share like some good chat. There's usually live music, and look at that sunset. It's absolutely outstanding. It's very common as well that some locals get to do some bonfire or play some guitar around, so you can really get to have the vibes of the spot, okay? So it's not just about surfing and about beautiful sunsets, it's as well a great spot for wildlife, okay? So for wildlife lovers, next to Santa Teresa, there's Cabo Blanco Natural Reserve. Actually, the oldest one in the whole country, okay? It has started being an absolute natural reserve in 1963, which means that no one could pass by there, okay? But since 1980, you can actually go. But it's not just necessarily that you need to go to a natural reserve. Just walking around, you can get to see so much wildlife. So for example, who doesn't love a sloth, right? So like probably it's the cutest animal that we can get to see in the whole Costa Rica, and as well one of the highlights why people goes to Costa Rica. This picture is actually like is taken by a friend of mine, okay, that it is just next to Santa Teresa Beach, okay? So you can like just walk around, look at the trees, and get to see a sloth, get to see different kind of monkeys. Like for example, in here we have a white-faced monkey. You can get to see as well howler monkeys, spider monkeys, just crossing the street. It's absolutely insane, okay, wildlife-wise. And as well, okay, there's a time of the season where there's a whale season, okay? Like it goes from August to December mainly, okay? For example, I want to share this video with you guys. This was from one of the moments that I have to take the ferry that we were talking about before, okay? Like it's just 1 hour from Paquera to Cóbano, okay, to Mexico to Santa Teresa, okay? So just to see the spectacle that you guys can get to catch, okay? As you guys see, okay, like just catching a ferry, okay, like that was an absolute blast. And actually we saw like a few whales like jumping around. It was insane. So whale season from August to December, more likely to get to see some whales, okay? And now let's go to our next destination, okay? Let's go to inland Costa Rica. That will take us, to El Natural Hot Springs, okay? And actually, it is next to the volcano Arenal. Like back in the days, one of the most active volcanoes in the whole Costa Rica, okay? It's been active since 1968 to 2010, when it was like the last big eruption, okay? Since that, it's dormant, but anytime soon it can actually like erupt again and like have like a lava pouring as back in the days, okay? Like just to say, in Costa Rica, there's considered more than 200 volcanic structures, okay? But there's a little bit of, you know, like a still argument of how many official volcanoes are in the country, okay? So there's a trend that is officially like 112 of them, okay? But there's like as well, like a little bit of a discussion between geologists, volcanologists on this matter, okay? So why it is special, the El Natural Hot Springs? Okay, to start with, look at where we are located, right? So we're next to a volcano and look at the nature, all right? So we are absolutely surrounded by nature all over the place, okay? Which is actually what defines Costa Rica more as a country, okay? So in here, there's the Tabacon River, okay? So the Tabacon River is actually the one that we're going to be talking about, okay? There's actually many other fancy spots next to Tabacon River where they actually get the water for the hot springs for. And they're amazing, guys. Like, they're beautiful. They have like light on their pools. They have lockers, restaurants, and everything. But I want to take you guys to a real spot, okay? So this is El Hot Spring River, okay? So just picture that coming from La Fortuna town is just a 20-minute drive, okay? And then after something like 5 minutes to the rainforest of Costa Rica, okay? So once that you arrive there, okay, like I will recommend you guys to go somewhere between 4:30 p.m. Okay, so first of all, you can get the daylight, okay? So what you can get to see here. So just picture this is a river with warm water, but this is the perfect temperature, guys. Like, I wouldn't be able to set it in a better temperature than what it is. It's like warm, but it's not too warm, okay? There's current, but there's not so much current, okay? Like, it is actually shallow as well, so as you can see in the picture, you can just take a set and enjoy the beautiful, beautiful landscape around, enjoy the rainforest around, okay? So as well, it is a great, great spot to stay in the evening, okay? So I love, for example, to bring some candles, okay? Like bring some drinks and actually enjoy just the place there. So just picture, right, that you're in the middle of the rainforest in Costa Rica, in this super nice warm water with the current just going down very gently. Like then after, like it starts to become misty with all the like little fog that's like comes and steam that comes from the river. And sometimes, okay, like if being lucky, you can get to see fireflies around. That makes it an actual real fairy tale, okay? So this is one of the spots that if going to Costa Rica, I would never miss, okay? And as well, we're gonna be having our first foodie moment, okay? So you guys ready for that? We're gonna be talking about the sodas, okay? So what are the sodas? Sodas are the traditional restaurants in Costa Rica, okay? This picture actually is from Soda La Hormiga in La Fortuna town, the town that is next to the hot springs. So what can you get in the soda? Well, you can get to have many different dishes, but let's talk about the national dish of Costa Rica, okay? So for example, in here we have the casado, okay? So what does a casado consist in? To start with, and super important, rice and beans, okay? That will always be in a casado. Then after fried plantain, then after you have like different kinds of salads, and then after you get your choice of like protein, right? So for example, in this case, this is a fish casado, okay? This was a tilapia casado, okay? And in here, for example, like in Sola Hormiga, they cooked it with mashed potatoes, okay? So super delicious, guys. Very filling, as most of actually dishes in Central America, okay? But definitely a thing, okay? De casados, okay? That's part of the Costa Rican food culture. So before jumping to our next country, is there any question around?
We haven't had too many questions in the chat box yet. I think everybody's super excited about the beaches, the hot springs. Maybe everyone's starting to get a little bit hungry, but we did just get a question from Sarah, and she's wondering what the best time of year to visit Costa Rica is.
So let's say like, and this will apply almost for whole Central America. There's different ecosystems, right? But like there's like a rainy season and dry season, okay? So let's say that the rainy season goes from May, depending on the year, to something like the end of September or October, depending on the year as well, with a little break in August, okay? So that's the time that you have more likely to find rain, but still, it is a great time to go, okay? But if you wanna make sure that there's gonna be less chances for rain, I would go somewhere in between October to April, okay? Those are great times to go.
Perfect. So that sounds like a perfect time to start planning, everyone. And then I think we can head to our next destination, John.
All right. So then from the land of the pura vida, okay, never forget that if you ever go to Costa Rica, we're going to be jumping to Nicaragua, okay, our first destination in Nicaragua. The country as well that it's part of the Ring of Fire. So what's the Ring of Fire? It's a big tectonic plate that goes actually all over the world. It goes from like the southern part of South America all the way to the other side. And like, for example, Nicaragua is still part of the Ring of Fire, okay? So it's totally a volcano land, okay? Actually, we're gonna be talking about that now, but like, let's go to our first destination, okay? That will take us to Café de las Sonrisas in Granada, Nicaragua, which is like located in a super scenic area, okay? We are next to the Volcan Mombacho Natural Reserve. That's actually the one that you guys can see there, okay? And then after, we are as well surrounded by the Lake Nicaragua, okay? Or Lake Cochibolca, which is the longest lake in the whole Central America, okay? Right at the end, we can actually get to see Volcan Concepcion that belongs to Ometepe Island, one of the treasures of Nicaragua as well. But let's go to Café de las Sonrisas. It is a private social project that it was founded in 2012, like thanks to the NGO of Tio Antonio, okay? So why is it special? Because they employ people with disabilities from Nicaragua, okay? Something that guys, like talking about Nicaragua and most of Central American countries, we're talking about non-developed countries, so it is something very, very hard to find, and it's very, very special, okay? So what do they do in Café de las Sonrisas? Okay, so like, for example, in here, like we have the place where they do the hammocks, okay? So just picture this like people with disabilities, like blind people, deaf, mute, okay? That they actually get the chance to have their employment and work on this. As a fact, in Café de las Sonrisas, like one of the blind workers did a hammock for the Pope Francisco, okay? So just picture how big is that for them. And as well, like you can go there, like make your own like a hammock and they can ship it. They actually have shipped like more than 30 countries in the world, okay? It's a very, very special spot. It's not just about hammocks, okay? As well, they do loads of workshops, okay? For example, to learn like the sign language. Actually, like the one that we have on top, he's Tio Antonio. He's the founder of the association, okay? And one of the treasures of Café de las Sonrisas is actually the cafe or the restaurant. So you can go there to have breakfast or lunch, okay? Why is it special? So all the people that work in the cafe, they're actually, all the waiters are deaf people, okay? So you can communicate with them if you want by signs, or like, for example, in the wall, there's all the different like a sign, like a words that you can use with them. And for example, the menus are visual, all right? So let's picture that you wanna get, for example, like a burger with tomato, lettuce, and egg, right? So in the menu, you will find all the pictures. So you just point, and then after the waiters will know what you're looking for, right? And actually, food in there is absolutely delicious, okay? So for those that wanna have a special experience in Granada, like I would 100% pass by Café de las Sonrisas, okay? And as well, let's have our foodie moment from Nicaragua, which I am very excited to share. How yummy does that look like, huh? So that's a nacatamal, okay? What is a nacatamal? So a nacatamal, it's a corn-based paste, okay? It's something like a tamale that actually inside comes with rice, beef, and different kinds of veggies. To be honest, my favorite one is the one that comes with potatoes as well, okay? So it's more a Christmas, like traditional dish from Nicaragua, but it's a restaurant, you can get it like all over the year, okay? And as you can see as well, it is folded in a banana leaf, okay? Why a banana leaf? Well, back in the days, guys, there were no Tupperwares, right? And people still needed to carry food from one place to the other, sell it on the streets, okay? Banana leaves are super resistant, and like they make it like a very, very good choice to carry the food, okay? So still nowadays, you can get to try the traditional way, okay? So this is the nacatamal, super jam, guys, super jam, okay? So from Café de las Sonrisas, let's jump to our first real volcano experience of the tour, okay? Which actually will take us to Masaya National, sorry? Oh, sorry, I thought that someone had a question. So let's talk about the Masaya Volcano National Park, okay? So just picture where we are, guys. Like we are surrounded by nature, volcanoes all over the place, okay? And actually here we have 3 different craters, okay? We have the Ningiri crater, San Pedro, and Santiago, all right? So what does Masaya Volcano, why it is unique from all over all of the volcanoes that we can see? Guys, the Masaya Volcano has one of the 7 lava lakes on the entire world. There's just 7 of them, okay? So actually you can go there, and this is the good news for the ones that are not hiking lovers, okay? You can go with a vehicle from the entrance of the national park. It's no more than a 20-minute drive, okay? And you will make it to the top where it's a parking lot, and you can get to see this absolute spectacle, okay? So just picture that you arrive to the top, okay? And then after there's a whole crater there, and on the bottom, you can get to see a lava lake, okay? And actually, I have like a little bit of a story with this. So actually, the place was closed for almost a year in the year 2016, okay? Why was that? There was like a little bit of a big eruption, so the lava level went up, okay? So then after actually National Geographic went there, did the studies and research, and actually ended up doing a documentary, okay? But it was actually closed, so no one could enter. So I was actually doing a tour through Granada, and I was like with our tour operator in there, with Ramon Parra, okay, and he got a call from one of the rangers of the national park, okay? It's like, Ramon, like the people from the government just left, so tomorrow we're gonna open it to the public, but if you are around and you wanna come, you can come over. So obviously we got like crazy and we went there. So actually these pictures are from that day, okay? So whenever we arrived, like we could see like this spectacle, like the lava just like going like crazy against one of the walls, as you guys can see here. You can see like all the flow, like all the bubbles, all the colors, all the incandescence of the night. For the picture lovers, this is definitely the spot, okay? And I would totally recommend you guys to go after the sunset, okay? Why is that? Because the lava and the incandescence, it's like way, way, way bigger spectacle, like whenever it gets dark, okay? It's absolutely, absolutely outstanding to get to see it, okay? And as we were saying, and this is not Photoshop, okay, this is one of the pictures from the National Geographic team, okay? So they actually went all the way down and make like all the different like a test from like for the labs, okay? So this is like one of the pictures like with the like heat shots, okay, like next to the crater, okay? Absolutely crazy. So nowadays, guys, if you're gonna have a volcano experience, like this is the one. For the hiking lovers, like no worries, because we're gonna be talking about some other volcano experiences that we can get like throughout Central America. But before jumping to our next destination, you guys have any question?
If anybody in the group here wants to unmute their line and ask a question, you can definitely do that.
I just have a question. So this park is just open to anyone or only tour groups, or I didn't understand what we were saying.
Yeah, it's totally open to everyone.
Okay.
So you could go either like with your private vehicle, or like, of course, if you're on a tour, like the vehicle would have access to it. There's an entrance fee that you have to pay, but yeah, like it's absolutely open for everyone.
Okay, thank you.
Welcome, very welcome.
And then Nelson just asked, can you visit the volcano lake at night?
Yes, and actually I would totally recommend that. Okay, during the day it's very beautiful as well to get like the views around, but at night you can really enjoy the spectacle of the incandescence of the lava. So totally yes, Nelson.
Amazing. And I think Jacob just unmuted his line. Do you have a question?
Yeah, and if you like one of these amazing hammocks they do in Granada, what can you do in this time to support them to get one like shipping to somewhere?
So that's actually a great question. Like if you want to, like we can share later on like the link, okay, to access to Café de las Sonrisas, and they're actually producing like hammocks as well, and they will ship it eventually. Obviously, because of the situation nowadays, it won't be as fast as like whenever everything was normal, but they can still ship it. So if really interested, then later on, like me and Cassandra, we're gonna be able to share that link with you guys.
Yeah, we'll send that in a follow-up email for you all to check out. Good question. John, where are we going to next?
Okay, so let's leave our volcano land, Nicaragua, and we're going to be jumping to Guatemala, to the heart of the Mayan civilization, okay? So we're gonna have a view from the top of the Lake Atitlan, okay? What is the Lake Atitlan? Well, guys, what makes the Lake Atitlan unique to me, it is like the landscape that you can find in there, that it's absolutely insane, okay? So just picture that you are in a lake, which actually looks like someone has drawn it. Like, I wouldn't be able to make it more perfect. There's 3 volcanoes around, okay? So we have in here Toliman Volcano, we have Atitlan Volcano, and San Pedro Volcano. All of them dormant. And then after around, just on the shore, there's 12 different Mayan villages, okay? Each of them belongs to different Mayan group with different customs, different traditions, and most of them different Mayan languages as well, okay? So just picture like this is a very important spot for like back in the days in the Mayans, actually was considered sacred, okay? And still nowadays you can get like a real vibes of what like the Mayan culture is, okay? And to get to understand that better, okay, from this magnificent view, we're gonna take our parachute and we're gonna be jumping to San Juan La Laguna. So this little town right here, where we're going to be talking our next destination actually, which is like one of the projects that we have for Planet Terra, which is the Posadas Mayas. So what's Planet Terra? So Planet Terra is the NGO that we have in Gadventures, okay? We have like more than 80 projects all over the world, okay? We have homestays, restaurants, different kind of tour operators, okay? That actually are helping communities that are like a little bit in a hard situation to make their way, okay? To make their living. So this project, it is about a homestay that we do with the Rupala Crystalline Association, okay? So there's 26 families and around 130 people benefiting from the project, okay? To say that here in San Juan La Laguna, there's like 95% of the population of the town, it is a Chutuhil Mayan group, okay? So, for example, as we're talking about Rupala Crystalline, okay, this rock that we have in here, this hill, guys, it's what gives the name for. Can you see that there is a shape of a face? Okay, so this is like considered the Indian face, okay? And actually later on, we're gonna be talking about the biggest peak here, which is called the Indian nose, okay? Which is actually hikeable. So like you can actually hike all over there, okay? But let's talk as well about the Planet Terra project, okay? So imagine that you are arriving to one of these super local Mayan towns, okay? And you are received by a Mayan family, okay? And actually super nice to get to see, like in this picture, like some of these women I have been already on their family houses, okay? They're very, very good friends of me after these 4 years and a half. Okay, so basically like things that we can get to do in there is to share a shelter with them. Okay, how amazing is that? Okay, but it's not just about sharing a shelter with them as well. You can get to learn a lot about the Mayan culture. To start with, you can actually dress up like them. Okay, like the way the Maya like actually like dress nowadays. Okay, so for example, for the woman, like the dress is known as huipil. Okay, consisting in a long skirt. Okay, with a traditional belt, and then after very colorful shirts. Okay, all of them, the colors and like the amount of squares, the amount of lines have different motives, okay? So each town, for example, have a traditional color attached to them, okay? So what would you learn in this project? So for example, you will learn how the Mayans do the textiles from back in the days, okay? So how they take the cotton from the hills, they clean it, they dye it with different natural elements like barks, leaves, even insects, okay? And how they get, with no chemicals, totally organic, such a colorful textiles. It's very, very, very cool to get to see. But it's not just that. You can, for example, get to see like all the local painting style, okay? Like there's different art galleries where there's like actually like people, like artists that are original from San Juan La Laguna, and they develop different endemic styles. Like for example, in here we can get to see like the bird view, then after they as well like establish the end view, which is from the bottom to the top. Okay, super colorful paintings as you guys can see. And as well, you can learn, for example, about the medicinal plants, like still nowadays in Guatemala and some other places in Central America, there's these healers that are called curanderos, okay? So they heal with the ancient knowledge, okay? Meaning that everything coming from the Mother Earth, okay? With leaves and different kinds of plants, okay? Very interesting, and something that nowadays is still like done in all these towns, okay? But let's talk about the hike that we're talking about, okay? This is the view from the top of the Indian nose, okay? It was like that peak that we're pointing before. So just picture what you can get to see, okay? So I would recommend to do this hike at night time, okay? So very, very early morning. So you start something like 4 a.m. I know it is a very early morning, so it's not definitely for the morning, early morning, not lovers, okay? But like when you're hiking, if you're lucky, like you can get to see like all the stars, all the constellations, all the lights of the different towns nearby. And whenever making it to the top, this is actually a picture from the sunrise. Just picture, guys, that you can get to see 6 different volcanoes in front of you. How crazy is that? And actually, like this guy here, he's Santos. He's one of the men from the families. So in here you can get to see, for example, San Pedro Volcano, Toliman Volcano, Atitlan, Fuego Volcano that is actually erupting. That's the smoke from the volcano, Acatenango, and this little peak is this Volcán de Agua. 6 different volcanoes. So just picture as well, you know, like the sun coming out, like all the colors of the morning, all the misty fog from the lake. It is absolutely outstanding, okay? Outstanding, sorry. It's one of my probably favorite scenic viewpoints from all over Central America, okay? But it's not just that the lake offers, right? For example, for the wellness lovers, there's so many places where you can practice different kinds of arts, like for example, meditation, yoga, okay? Like this picture is, for example, from San Marcos, which is a yoga and meditation mecca in the lake Atitlan. So you can have these super scenic shalas where you can like practice yoga and have a very chill moment, okay? Not just that, and something that not so many people knows, but you can get to see the national bird of Guatemala in the Lake Atitlan as well, okay? So this guy that you guys have in front, it is the quetzal bird, okay? And I'm very, very honored to say that this picture was taken from me It took me more than 4 years to get to see my first quetzal. Like I almost cried whenever I saw it, okay? So I had to do like a private exploration in one of the towns of the lake, which is called Santiago de Atitlan, okay? And go to the cloud forest of the lake, okay? And in there we were so lucky to get to see actually a couple of quetzales, okay? So absolutely, absolutely outstanding, guys. Not very easy to get to see. You can just get to see quetzals in a few spots in Central America, mainly in the highlands, okay? And as well, let's have our first Guatemalan foodie moments. You guys ready? So let's talk about the pepian, okay? So the pepian, it is a chicken stew, okay, that comes cooked with different veggies and different spices, okay, and usually comes on a side of rice, and obviously the corn tortillas that will be in every single dish and in every single table in Guatemalan cuisine, okay? Super tasty. Once again, very filling, okay, as we were saying, but very, very tasty, okay? And as well, if you wanna have your talk like a local moment, whenever going to San Juan La Laguna, like for example, for saying very cool, okay, like you can use for talking in Maya language, okay, to heal, you can say puro uts pin pin, okay, puro uts pin pin, okay, and that way, like you're gonna be able to get more familiar with the Mayan culture and Mayan language, okay. Before going to our next destination, we're gonna be passing by through probably the best spot in Central America for hiking, okay, which is willing to taking us to the top hikes of both Acatenango and Fuego Volcano and Pacaya, all right? So what about Acatenango and Fuego? So like these two volcanoes, okay, they're like almost like brothers, they're like one next to each other. So Acatenango is inactive, but Fuego is active. Actually, the picture that you guys have on the right, it is from the view of the top of Acatenango of Volcán de Fuego, okay? Which is actually nowadays one of the most active volcanoes. So it is an extreme hike, okay? So this is definitely for the hiking lovers, but for the ones that really, really want to challenge themselves, okay? So basically, like whenever hiking a volcano, the difference to hike a mountain is like in many areas, there's no path. Okay, so you actually have to go with a guide, okay, with an actual official guide. Okay, it is very steep, it's amazing, okay, and then after the reward that you can get is to get to see like this crazy view on top, okay? So how crazy is that? It is just for the sunrise. Like, it's probably like one of the best hikes I've done in my entire life, okay? But for those that don't want to do an extreme hike, but still do a hike and get to see lava, we have the Pacaya volcano, okay? So Acatenango reaches almost 4,000 meters, but you can actually hike the Pacaya volcano. That takes you to almost 2,500 meters, right? So you can actually do an overnight. This picture actually is taken from the top at night time, okay? Where you have like just on 20 meters ahead, you have an active crater putting lava like crazy. How amazing is that, right? And actually being lucky, sometimes there's even a lava rivers going down, okay? And as well, it's not just a Volcán de Fuego that you have in front. Whenever hiking Acatenango, you have, for example, Volcán de Agua and Antigua City, okay? Like we have right here, one of the most beautiful colonial cities in the whole Central America, okay? But as we were promising, okay, let's go to our next destination that actually will take us to one of the Mayan civilization hidden gems, okay? And actually it is considered the best kept secret of the Mayan civilization, okay? We're talking about Jascha archaeological site, okay? So what does it make it special to Jascha, okay? So just picture that we're now traveling to the center of the Petén region in Guatemala, okay? It's all tropical rainforest all over the place, so many different archaeological sites nowadays. So it was host for many, many different cities and towns back in the days for the Mayas, okay? So it is next to two different lakes, okay? The Lagoon of Sacnap and the Lake Jascha, okay? Where the archaeological site takes the name from, okay? So why is this place special? It is very, very, very few people that goes there, okay? Like there's more than 500 structures, Some of them are still like under the dirt, so you can really get to see how the Spaniards got it like whenever they arrived, okay? And then after still, there's another temples that are partially restored and you can climb to the top, okay? So this picture, for example, is from the central plaza, okay? As you can see, there's almost no one there. So you can really get the vibes of how magical that place was back in the days, okay? So you can imagine as a priest of back in the days, you know, giving the speech to all the audience from the top of the temple, okay? And really get the vibes of what being in a Mayan ancient city is, okay? But what's the highlight to me of Jascha, okay? We're gonna be taking our helicopter, okay? And we're gonna be going to this temple in here to catch the sunset, all right? So that's the picture of the sunset from Jascha, okay? Let me tell you guys that just seeing this picture, actually, I get almost goosebumps, okay? It's been by far the most peaceful moment I've had in these 4 years and a half working as a CEO in Central America, okay? So like the last 15 to 20 minutes, like when the sun is going down, the rangers makes everyone be silent. So imagine that you are on top of that temple, there's no noise at all. You just hear the sounds of the nature, you see the birds, you see, for example, like different howler monkeys, different kinds of monkeys. You have sounds of the nature while the sun is going down and reflecting on the Jascha lake. It's absolutely, absolutely magical, guys, okay? So if going to Central America and really want to get a real experience of a Mayan archaeological site, I would recommend you to go to Jascha site, okay? It is like around 45 minutes to 1 hour from both the Belizean border or from Flores Island, okay? It's a very important destination as well in Guatemala. So that's about Jascha. But before continuing, is there any question, guys?
Jon, I love hearing you talk about Guatemala. It's a country that was never really on my radar, but now it's quickly moved to the top, and it's somewhere that I'm looking forward to exploring once we're able to. I think Ernie answered most of the questions in the chat box. Somebody did ask, how are you traveling between each country?
So like there's different options. So for example, if you would sign up for a Gadventures tour, we do all the traveling like on the ground, right? So we would have different vehicles. Sometimes we'll take in like a private van, or as well, we are taking like different public buses. And actually they're known as chicken buses, right? Which is like these old school buses from like the schools like in the United States. They bring them all the way to Central America, paint them, like change the engine, and like they actually like go right like rockets through the roads of Central America, okay? So basically all of it will be like moving on the ground.
Awesome. Someone says chicken buses are fun.
Actually, yeah, they actually are. And there's no more real experience in Central America than actually getting a ride on a chicken bus. It's absolutely insane. There's no air condition. There's like just windows down. Like there's usually very loud music. Like you are gonna be sharing your spot, like your seat with like a locals. You can get to have a nice conversation. It is a very cool experience.
Amazing. Well, let's head to the next destination. I believe this is one of my favorites.
All right, so before going to our next destination, let's end up Guatemala with our talk like a local moment, okay? So for example, you wanna say for sure, right? You wanna be affirmative, like you can say a huevo, okay? And actually that will take a smile from the locals, okay? And for example, you wanna say yes, okay? In Guatemala, it's super common to say Simón, okay? So as well, that will bring definitely a smile from like the local that you're gonna be talking to, which by far, actually, I would say that here in Central America, guys, you're gonna be able to find the kindest people that you will ever meet in your lives. It's like actually one of the reasons why like actually Central America took my heart. Like the people in Central America are absolutely outstanding, okay? So as Cassandra was saying, get ready to our next destination because this is going to be taking us to Belize, all right? To the Caribbean coast. Are you ready to feel like these Caribbean vibes? Like just picture being next to a palm tree with the turquoise colored waters of the sea. okay, and actually like the vibes from Kikoker, right? So before heading to Kikoker, let's talk about this barrier reef that we have here, right? Which is the Mesoamerican barrier reef, okay? The second largest one in the whole world after the Great Barrier Reef in Australia, okay? So why is this Kikoker special? Why are we going to this beautiful, beautiful island? Well, to start with, it's a very tiny island. It's just 8 kilometers from side to side. It's actually split in two, okay? Because back in the days, in the 1961, there was a hurricane that actually like split the island in two in a very narrow area. Then after the locals, to make it easier to go from one place to the other with their ships, they actually make it wider. And now there's a spot that is actually known as the split. That is one of the spots for swimming there. Okay, but let's go with it. It's really, really special, like from Kikoker, okay, which is just walking through the streets, okay? So we will take our parachute again, our beautiful parachute, okay, and we're gonna be jumping to the streets of Kikoker, okay? So as well in here, we're gonna be having our like talk like a local moment, okay? So just picture that you are like in the streets of this paradise island. There's no pave at all, okay? There's no cars. The only car that you will be able to see is these super cute like golf carts that you actually can use them as a taxi. Or if you want to, like you can get to drive them and have some like local experience as well. But this is the time to chill, relax, even take your shoes off and just walk through the sand, okay? Like it's super, super nice vibes all over the place, wherever you will go. And actually, as we're saying, our talk like a local moment, if you wanna talk like locals in here, the one that you think to say, it is German, go slow, all right? And actually, like whenever going a little bit quick through the streets of Kikoker, there's going to be always a local telling you, hey man, why are you going so fast? You're gonna break the speed limit, okay? With this super, super cool Caribbean accent. But let's go with one of the highlights of Kikoker, which is like the chance to do a snorkel tour, okay? So just imagine the Caribbean Sea, a sailing boat, a crew that is ready to have the day of their lives, and like the most fun local captains, okay? Can it go wrong? Okay, so if that's not enough, let's see what we can get to see there. So just picture that we are, for example, able to swim with nurse sharks, okay? That is this guy that we have here in front. The good news, guys, don't be afraid. These sharks don't have any teeth. They eat by suction, okay? So you can just relax and swim next to them, always like respecting our wildfire policies, so no touch them. So just swim from a few meters, okay? You can as well, like if you're lucky, swim with different kinds of sea turtles, like different kinds of rays. For example, this picture belongs to the shark and ray alley, one of the big highlights of that snorkeling day. So as you guys can see, there's sharks, nurse sharks all over the place, many different kinds of fishes. This is, for example, one of the stingrays. You can get to see as well eagle rays around, an absolute spectacle, okay? So for the snorkeling lovers, guys, this is the place. I've been lucky to do loads of snorkeling tours all over the world. This is by far top one, world class, okay? So you would never regret, okay? And as well, let's go with our foodie moments. Oh my God, just seeing this, my mouth is watering, okay? So just picture you have your feet on the sand, you're feeling the Caribbean vibes, and then you have this amazing lobster, okay? For the seafood lovers, okay, lobster in Kikoker is always fresh. It's just seasonal. There's a time of the year that you actually can't have any access to lobster, but whenever, like, so they can repopulate, as it is a big income for the Belizean economy, okay, but just picture that you can get like this amazing grilled, fresh lobster. It's actually in a very good price, like you can get it like around 25 Belizean dollars, which is like something like 12 to 15 US dollars. And like in this case, this is my favorite dish, okay? It comes with coconut curry, okay? Which is absolutely, oh my God, like I would love to have this in front of me right now, okay? And as well, let's talk about this hot sauce that we have here, which is Mary Sharps, okay? Which is a Belizean hot sauce. For the hot sauce lovers, guys, that's my absolute favorite hotspot in the entire world, okay? It goes from mild to very hot, And actually, like the hottest one, it says like on the bottom, beware. Okay, so just picture what we're talking about. Super, super nice hot sauce. And as well, here on the right, we have the Belikin beer, okay, which is a national beer of Belize. Like a lager beer, very, very nice to get through, okay? But it's not just that, okay? We're gonna talk as well about this absolute gem of Central America, okay? And the reason why many people actually goes to Belize, which is the Blue Hole, okay? So this is a video that I took with some of my travelers from the scenic flight over the Blue Hole, okay? So I really hope that you guys enjoy it. It's like around an hour flight, okay? And look at the colors that you can get to see, okay? This is actually the Blue Hole. It's 124 meters deep, okay? And then after, like, you can get, like, for example, like the Mesoamerican Barrios Reef that we're seeing in the Earth view before from the top, okay? But just picture that you are in a 5-seater plane, like, you know, going all the way up on the clouds, on the sky of the Belizean like waters, like you're actually driven by a local, like actually he's Charlie, one of the local drivers. Well, that's me. But like guys, the Blue Hole, if ever going to Belize, it is something that I will never miss. Like it is definitely like for the landscape lovers, one thing that you would never forget in your entire life. So before leaving the Caribbean, I don't know if there's any question around that.
No questions. I think you're making everybody hungry with that lobster, though.
I actually became hungry myself as well.
Yep, that definitely happened. Well, while the motto is go slow in Keycocker, I think we can speed on over to Mexico.
All right, so let's go all over to Mexico, right? So let's start with one of the probably most beautiful colors that we're gonna be able to see in front of our eyes, okay? Which comes from the Bacalar Lagoon, as well known as the 7-color lagoon, right? So the pictures speak by themselves, like just see the colors of this lagoon. It's like brackish water, it's actually super nice to swim in there. You can do a little tour, okay, and go around. Like this is the actual color that you can get to see, guys. It's like out of this world. Okay, so it is super fun to just go in there, like swim around. Okay, this picture actually belongs to the Pirates channel because back in the days, the pirates would use like the way from the Caribbean Sea to Bacalar, okay, to actually steal all the goods from the Spaniards, okay? In this case, the añil tree, okay, which was like considered like a golden treasure back in the days, all right? So just to say why this place is unique for me, it is because of the colors, okay? I've never seen these colors anywhere else in the world, okay? So like just to picture, like this is my mom, all right? I'm very glad to introduce you to my mom. So before all the quarantine started, my mom was able to come a few days to Mexico, and I wanted to show her my favorite spot. Okay, so we were able actually to go to Bacalar. We took a boat tour, and we had an absolute blast. Okay, so if you guys ever go to Mexico, this is still one of the hidden gems of the Mexican tourism. Okay. And let's go as well to talk about the stromatolites, okay? The stromatolites are one of the oldest living organisms that we can find the entire planet. And Bacalar, and actually that's one of the reasons why Bacalar is unique, because it's one of those few spots where you can still find stromatolites, okay? So what are these like looking rocks, okay? So actually the oldest ones are dated from 3.5 billion with B years old, okay? So to picture that the planet has like an estimated of 4.5 billion years, okay, so it's a pretty old organism, okay? And why are these organisms special? Because they produce large amount of oxygen, okay? So they get the carbon dioxide and then after they expose the oxygen. So for the life that we know nowadays, these organisms back in the days, like billion years ago, they were very, very important, okay? So as well, like once that we talk about that, let's go to our first Mexican foodie moment that I'm actually very excited to talk, okay? This is a grilled octopus from La Playita restaurant, okay? Actually in Bacalar, okay? Like octopus and seafood is a big thing in all the coastline of Mexico, and as well next to the lagoon, for example, here in Bacalar. I've tried very, very good real octopuses here in Mexico, but my favorite one in the entire world, it is this one from La Playita. I bet that the seafood lovers like me are already like watering your mouths, okay? So that's about Bacalar Lagoon, all right? So let's go now to our next destination, okay, where we're gonna be catching the cenote Canquirinche in the Yucatan Peninsula. Actually, what is a cenote? Okay, a cenote, it is a very special formation. And why is it formed? Because in the Yucatan Peninsula and as well in the Riviera Maya, in the coastline of the Caribbean, as you guys can see, it's a super flat area. There's no mountains. It's all limestone, all right? So that's why there's no rivers outside. All the rivers are underground canals, okay? That actually are communicated between themselves and make a natural current, okay? So like then after this, like currents make different kinds of sinkholes, okay? So let's go to my favorite cenote in the whole Yucatan Peninsula, okay? Which is the Canquirinche cenote. So why is this cenote special? Like some of the cenotes are actually very busy, okay? There's like lots of people going around. It's still very beautiful, but maybe you can't have the real feeling of having there by yourself, right? So in here in Canquirinche, there's many chances that you're gonna arrive and you find no one, okay? So this is for example, like a cave-shaped cenote, okay? So you can see the stalactites. Now we're gonna be able to see the stalagmites and look at the colors of the water, guys. Like it's totally, totally clear. For example, for the diving lovers, for the free diving lovers, this picture is like around 10 to 12 meters deep, and look at how clear you can get to see. I know that it's difficult to believe, okay, but you can see almost as clear underwater with your snorkel than it is outside. It's absolutely crazy, okay? But there's more different kinds of cenotes. For example, the ones that are open, okay? So this is the Mucuiche cenote, okay? This is an open one. And as well, like, for example, like what it makes it special is that it's usually not very, very crowded, okay? You can actually jump from this little platform in here, or you can come all over to the top where the picture is taken. And actually, guys, it's crazy, but you can get to see like the 25 meters deep, okay, from the top. Like you can see totally clear. And for the adrenaline lovers, and I am one of those, like you can actually jump from the top. It looks like crazy, and actually, I'm not gonna lie, it's absolutely crazy, but it's one of those jumps that you will never forget, okay? And as we are in the Yucatan Peninsula, let's talk about our Yucatecan food moment. So it's tacos moments, guys. It is the tacos of cochinita pibil, okay? So what's cochinita pibil? It's actually a pulled pork, okay, that is cooked with different kinds of spices, like for example, the achiote, okay, which is like the one that the Mayas would use back in the days for spices, as well they would use it for dyeing clothes, okay. If you want to eat it like a local, okay, it is about like using that like different like purple cebolla, okay, and onion, and then after put some like lime juice on top, okay. Absolutely delicious. Like, how wouldn't you go to Mexico and not eat tacos, right? So this is our taco experience. Cochinita pibil tacos, okay? And now let's go to our next destination in Mexico that will take us to Chiapas state, okay? One of the 32 states of Mexico, actually the one that does border with Guatemala, to have one of the most adventurous experiences that we can get in our Mexican tours, okay? So we'll go to Roberto Barrios Cascades, okay? Which is all these cascades around here. So have you been to a waterfall? I bet you have. Have you ever jumped on a waterfall? Like, probably yes. But have you ever walked through a waterfall? Well, that's how crazy Roberto Barrios is, okay? So we can actually walk through a waterfall as you guys see on the pictures, okay? So it looks like it's insane. It is actually insane. But the reason why we can walk through this cascade, it is because it is not rocks, it is sediments, all right? So the grip is absolutely outstanding, okay? So you can just walk through, you can find different spots where you can do little jumps, there's different water slides as well. You can find like these hidden caves So you jump in and get to see like all the water coming all over the place. Absolutely outstanding, guys. And look at the colors of the pools as well. Like this is an absolute gem of the Chiapas state, okay? Like as well, okay, like to picture, okay, this is like a picture from one of my groups as well as the other ones, okay? Like just picture that you're in the middle of rainforest once again, and you're walking through this like cascade, like hearing the noise of the water, like surrounded by locals that take you actually through the waterfall. Super local experience and amazing, okay? And doable for all the publics. That is the greatest thing, okay? If you want to make this special to this experience to the top, okay, you can actually do organize a local barbecue, okay, in the start of the waterfall that will take the experience to the next level, okay? And last but not least, okay, let's go with our promised great finale, okay, which will take us to the Day of the Dead in Oaxaca City in Mexico as well, all right? So actually, what is the Day of the Dead? Well, first of all, this is actually the central plaza in Oaxaca, okay, that actually for the Day of the Dead is totally adorned. It is housed for many of the events and celebrations that it is around there, okay? But let's go a little bit more in deep about this massive, massive event of the Mexican culture. So this is, for example, the ofrendas, okay? So what are the ofrendas? This is an altar that actually it is a place where like the alive ones try to take their beloved gone ones, okay? So as you can see in this altar, in this ofrenda, like it is very important that you place the picture of the familiar ones that are gone, okay? You're gonna put as well their favorite drink, their favorite food. There's going to be as well salt because it is known to carry the souls from the dead world better to the live world. You're gonna see these beautiful, beautiful orange flowers, which is the cempasúchil flower, all over the place as well, which is the sacred flower for the Day of the Dead. Okay, and this is considered that actually the cempasúchil will draw the path from the dead world to the alive world, okay? So like all the beloved ones can share that day and that night with the alive world familiars, okay? So let's say that the celebration officially have two important dates, okay? The first one, it is the 31st of October, all right? Which is a great opportunity to have like probably the biggest cultural moment and most emotional moment of the Day of the Dead, which is the cemetery night, okay? So for example, this picture is taken in the Jojo cemetery, okay? So just picture like how beautifully adorned all the graveyards are. There's candles all over the place. There's like the cempasúchil flower. You can actually get to see like all the families like sharing with their beloved ones, okay? And like always in a very respectful way, but it is like a place to like enjoy and as well be part of the celebration, all right? So like some of the families, when they're arriving there, they're going to be very like silently or like emotionally having their moment with their gone beloved ones, and some of their families are going to be with different drinks, food. They're actually going to offer to share a drink with you. They're going to be dancing to the live music because like there's live music in all these cemeteries. So it is a big celebration, but it's a very, very emotional and like a place that where you can really get the real feelings of the Day of the Dead, okay? So that is the part of the 31st night, okay? And then after, let's go to the 1st of November, right? Which is the official day for the parades, okay? So this picture, for example, is taken from the last Day of the Dead in 2019. We are actually two groups that we got together, okay? This is my fellow CEO and friend, Manfred. And believe it or not, this guy right here, this is me. Okay, and actually, as you guys can see, like the face painting as the Katrina, it is one of the big things of the celebration, all right? So those days, you can go around the streets in Oaxaca. There's going to be so many people like that actually artists like that will offer to paint, to do your face painting, okay? And as well, if you guys on a Gadventures tour, your CEO will definitely help you guys to get a very, very professional one, okay? So then after you go to the streets, there's going to be live music everywhere. There's going to be like bands going here and there. You're gonna cross different parades, okay? So like usually like the parades start something like 6 p.m. and in some neighborhoods go almost to the sunrise, okay? So it's a big, big night as well, okay? For those that like culture and big celebrations, definitely the Day of the Dead, it is the biggest event that we can live in the Central American and Mexican region, okay? And we couldn't leave this live tour sharing our last foodie moments, all right? So very excited to introduce you to the Tlayuda. So what is the Tlayuda? So it's actually for some people known as the Mexican pizza, okay? But what it is actually like a food that it was back in the days, a pure street food, but nowadays you can as well find it in like, besides the local markets, you can find it in most of restaurants as well, okay? Like, so it's a corn-based like paste, okay, that it's actually like a fried. And then after, on top, you have refried beans, Oaxacan cheese, which is the local cheese that it's delicious for the cheese lovers, different kinds of veggies, and after you can make it like any kind of beef or protein on top. For example, this one comes with chorizo and beef, okay? Super nice, super filling. Actually, I would recommend you going to Oaxaca City to go to the local market of 20 of November, Mercado del 20 de Noviembre, to get the real vibe of the local market in Mexico, which is definitely one of the top experiences, and try a real tlayuda, okay? And as well, as we're talking about the Day of the Dead, this is the pan de muerto, okay? Or the bread of death, literally translated, okay? Which is actually eaten with hot drinkable chocolate, okay? It is just like traditional for the Day of the Dead time, okay? But it's like great, and it's like a way to be part of the tradition. So this was it. I really hope that you guys have enjoyed this live tour through Central America and Mexico. This is my life. Most of pictures have been taken either by me or some of my travelers or some of my friends that shared it with me. Okay, I love this region with all my heart. Okay, and I hope that you guys can visit it one day, or if you guys already visited, that like it brought nice memories from you. So I don't know if there's like any question, anything that you guys want to share.
So right now the chat box is just blowing
I have a
up with
question.
thank yous. Oh, Amy, go ahead.
Yep.
No, I missed the name of the cenote that you talked about where not so many people go to. The one that you showed with the platform. I didn't catch the name. Maybe you can put the name somewhere.
Like actually, like I think we will attach it to the email as well, because it's a little bit difficult to get it. We are ready. It's known as Canturite cenote. It's a Mayan word, so it's a bit difficult. Okay, so actually we're gonna share both of them, like both like the closed one and like the open one, which is the mucuiche.
Yeah, so everybody will receive a follow-up email after this. So if there still are any questions that you might have, feel free to reply and we'll make sure we'll get that answered for you. And also just thank you everybody for taking the time to connect and join Gadventures for our live virtual group tour. I know Jon gave us a small taste of the travel that we so dearly miss. I know for myself, the first place I'll be going to is Guatemala, and then back to one of my favorite places of Belize. So thank you so much, Jon. We can't travel right now, but for now, we'll stay home and we'll stay connected. And also, if you enjoyed your adventure with Jon, you can show your appreciation by tipping him through PayPal. I've shared the link in the chat box, and you'll also receive an email following this with the link. This money goes directly to Jon, helping support him until he's able to get back to doing what he does best, and that's sharing our world in real life. So keep an eye out for more virtual travel experiences hosted by more CEOs. Until then, stay connected, and you can visit our Central America tours and Mexico tours on the Gadventures website if you're looking to book as well.
Yeah, thank you very much, everyone, for attending. Thank you very much for spending this time with us. Okay, and like I hope that you guys have a great day, and like as well, like one day we can all get to see around Central America and Mexico. You guys now have a friend and hopefully a future CEO with you. Okay.
Definitely.
So, ciao, ciao. Thank you very much. Muchas gracias.
Bye,
Definitely
everybody.
again, John.
Bye-bye.
Thank you, everybody. Take care.